Hello. Okay, so we'll see who jumps on for this one because I'm going to admit this is a little different than what I would normally talk about, but I still think it ties in. Okay? And I'm going to preface by saying I'm not a scientist, I'm not a philosopher, although I do philosophize, I guess you could say that. Is that a word? I don't know. But I think it's important. I think it's important for us to kind of explore the possibilities, especially with how crazy things are right now. Okay? And it's really kind of hit me lately because, man, y'all, things are weird. They're weird. And I know that we have all noticed, or at least a lot of us have noticed, the very bizarre synchronicities and differences that have been happening lately. And it's been really, really strange. And it's not happening just 'cause. Okay? I truly believe that this is happening because of a raised energy level that quite a few of us are doing as a collective, and where I think that affects what is called the simulation hypotheses is the idea behind that is that in very brief and layman's terms, simulation hypotheses is the idea that we are all simulated and that we are essentially in a created simulation by the powers that be to live out our existence in some sort of game. Fine. If that's true, fine. Okay, have your fun. But it got me to thinking, because I'm kind of a gamer. At least I was, back me and my son. Love me some games. Love me some role-playing games. And it got me to thinking about my favorite game, which is Skyrim, which I was really, really good at. Darn near unkillable. Okay? And when we first started playing that, my son was the first one to beat it. Okay? And he did exactly what is expected. And what I think we're all expected to do, because I'm going to parallel these. He started at A and went straight through B, C, D, E, F, G, all the way to Z. And won. Beat the game. He followed the line exactly as he was supposed to and beat the game. But as we went and played more, we saw all the other things that are on the peripheral that he missed because he was aiming so much at beating the game. Do you see the parallel? Do you see the parallel? We're all so hell-bent on beating the game or getting through the game unscathed that we're missing the peripheral. This is important, okay? So, as far as the simulation hypothesis goes, it's my belief, okay? It's my personal belief, and you don't have to have the same one, but it's my personal belief that, and hi y'all, it's my personal belief that yes, it very well could be a simulation. We could be in the midst of a simulation, but it's one we're creating right here. Hello, Joe. It's one we're creating, not somebody else. Not somebody else. We're creating the simulation by our daily choices. Hey, Robert. We're creating the simulation by our daily choices. We're creating where we go by our thought process. We're creating what happens by how we handle situations. Yes, it is very possibly a simulation, but it is a simulation that we are responsible for. Is there guidelines? Sure. Are there roads that are already paved for us? Absolutely. Are there forks in the road? Are there other paths? Hey, hello. Oh, were you really? How cool. How cool, Rachel. That is awesome. And hello, Taryn. I mean, are there peripherals? Yes. Y'all, there are side quests. Take the side quests. Just because this is possibly a simulation, just because it is quite possibly preset up to be one way, to see how we respond. One thing that cannot be preset up is our response. I am here to tell you, living proof, sitting right here in all my funky glory, okay? Ripped up sweatshirt, tattoos, barely put on some makeup for you people because I'm trying to look decent. I brushed my hair, but I don't know what the hell's going on with this. But I'm trying. But I'm telling you, in all my funky glory here, it matters. Your choices. You are changing that simulation. Okay? Can't stress it enough. Can't stress it enough. You're changing the simulation by your choices, by your reactions, by what you allow into your life, by how you process energy, by how you respond to somebody else's energy, by how you, to use a Joe Clark quote, transform and transmogrify something. You are doing that. So yes, this simulation called life is laid out in a schematic, so to speak, of all the moving parts, where they should go, and how it should be worked. However, nobody ever said that you couldn't take those same parts and build something completely different and absolutely amazing. Did you ever think of that? Did you ever think of that? Haven't you ever had a toy or had something where you're like, okay, I'm going to take this bad boy apart. I'm going to see what else I can make with it. You know, or anyone who's a seamstress, you go to the Goodwill and you find clothing. You take it apart and you make something amazing out of it. You know, you take a car apart and you build it back the way that you want it to look, with souped up parts and a kick-ass engine, okay? Toss a Hemi in there. Do whatever you got to do. There are so many different ways to use the parts that we are given. Thank you, Thomas. There are so many different ways to use the parts that we are given, to take the schematic that is the map of our existence in this simulated life, take those parts and mix them up. Mix them up. Get crazy with it, okay? If you are worried about getting off of the natural path, of what you're supposed to do, air quote, supposed to do, okay? What everybody tells you you're supposed to do. If you're worried about that, hello, Cheryl. I completely get it. Y'all get it. It's scary. It's terrifying. You know, when you go against what the masses think that you should be doing. It's terrifying. People make fun of you. They call you names. They make you feel, or attempt to make you feel inferior, okay, or less than in any way. But think about that. Would you rather be the person that follows every rule and walks in the path of somebody else, never casting your own shadow, never making your own mark, never doing your own side quest, never seeing, like in Skyrim, those bandits with the treasure chest full of crap, or the snow trolls, or becoming a vampire or a werewolf or something like that you would never do if you follow the main storyline. Think of all that cool stuff that you would never get to experience if you followed the status quo. What if the purpose of this simulation we call life is to see if we're strong enough to not follow the status quo? What do you think about that? I personally think that's exactly it. I think that's exactly it. I think the purpose of the simulation we call life is to check to see if we are trustworthy enough in ourselves and in our own personal power and in the power that we have here and in what we radiate to other people and what we absorb from other people. I think that is the test, not to see if we can get through it. It's not an obstacle course, but it's to see how we can thrive in it. There is a very real difference between getting through something and thriving during it. It doesn't mean you're not going to have crappy days, y'all. Oh, good gravy. I've had me some doozies, okay? I have had me some doozies, and I have made some of the most piss poor decisions you've ever seen a human make. True story, okay? I've been a good person. I've been a bad person. I've done it all, In my 52 years, I have been, this has been my simulation. I have went through extreme trauma as a child. I have been a rape and domestic abuse survivor. I've lost a total of 6 babies. Got 1 living child. I've been homeless. I've lived in my car. 2 separate situations. I was a high school dropout. And somehow, amidst all of that, I was able to be a really good mom. And I have an amazing relationship with my son. And still have a good relationship with his father, even though we're divorced. And somehow, some way, amidst all of that, I was able to, go back to night school and get my diploma. I was able to show my art at one of the major universities in Chicago. I've traveled the world. I've written 8 books. And none of this is because I'm an amazing author or artist. But I am tenacious. And even more so now. Because back then, I think that I was being guided and driven by a need to prove my worth. And now I am being propelled by the knowledge of my worth. That's what I want for y'all. I want you to understand that yes, this is very, very possibly a simulation. And yes, 100%, you could follow the status quo and get through it all. But you don't have to. Mix it up. Rip up the schematic, tear apart the toy, rebuild it back however you want to. Take the side quest, beat up the bandits, kill the trolls. Okay, the snow trolls. I'm not talking about people, y'all, just to let you know. Fly the dragon. That's what you need to do. That's what you need to do. You need to get out of the need to prove your worth and into the knowledge of your worth. And think and move accordingly. If it does not feel right to your soul, then it's not. If it does not bring you an emotion that you can work with, then walk away. You have that choice. Pick a different side quest. Get off the path. Okay? Again, I wished I was more well-versed in the scientific aspect of it. But I don't think how could anybody be? I know that Elon Musk has spoken about this. I know that many philosophers and scientists have spoken about this in a much more technical fashion. That having been said, I didn't want to get up here and spout a bunch of mumbo-jumbo at you. I can only give you, in any of these things that I do, my experiences in the way that I have done things, because that's what I know. That's what I know, and that's what I can account for. And that is where I know my faults, and I know my screw-ups, and I know where, if I've messed up, I know what I had to do to fix it. And I'm here to tell you right now that even if you get off and you take the wrong side quest and you veer off your path for but a moment, there's another trail. Hey, Donna, honey. There's another trail. It's just right down the way. You can hop right back on, get your bearings, take a breath, and find another one. Different direction. Okay? That's the whole point. And that's what I wanted to share with y'all. Start looking at life like a video game and not straightforward. Okay? And I tell you what, for those who don't play video games, what I want you to do, okay? I want you to go into YouTube and I want you to look up my favorite of all time video games, Skyrim. Okay? I had to buy it 4 times for 3 separate systems. No joke. Me and my son wore that thing out. Oh my Grady. I'm not even joking. But go look it up. Just go look it up and watch a couple of scenes. Just watch a couple of scenes and watch how they do things. And just know that the majority of what you're going to see on there are people choosing in a game to take the side quest, but choosing in life to walk in somebody else's footsteps. Don't be that person. Make your own mark. Cast your own shadow. Put your own prints in the snow. Okay? I know this one was super quick, but I'm hungry. I gotta eat something, but I just wanted to share that with y'all. And again, if I get more well versed and find a better way to explain myself in regards to this, I will absolutely discuss it again. By all means, in the chat here, or on Facebook, if you have any thing you want to bring up about it or discuss about it, by all means do it. I'll hop in and I'll answer, what I know to my knowledge as best as I possibly can. But all I can tell you, 100%, is that nothing is set in stone. And not to be morbid, but if it was, I would not be sitting here talking to you right now. I would be cast to the wind or 6 feet under. Pure tenacity has me sitting here speaking into this phone. Sheer strength of will. Okay? And if I can do it, anybody can do it. And especially now, I mean, it took a lot to get to this point. Took a lot. Oh, thank you. Thank you very much, Thomas. I appreciate that. But just, y'all, seriously, start being risk takers. You gotta. Okay? Anyway, from my heart to yours, I know this is a quick one. We'll do a longer one next week. Give me a topic. I want to know what y'all want to hear about. Okay? Anyway, I love y'all. Mwah! I will talk to you soon. Bye.